spoiler alert, the job that I have now is the same job that I applied for back in 2023, except the salary almost doubled. And that should just show you about God's timing and God's favor. I sold my first house on my birthday. So this time around, I was like, okay, it would be so cool if I sold my last house on my birthday. Like that would be pretty cool. So I prayed about it and I asked God, I was like, Lord, can you please bless us to sell this house on my birthday? And that will also be confirmation that it's time for me to leave real estate. So, are we surprised at this point? Are we surprised? Like, God's favor, we sold that house on my birthday. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jer and today is episode number 4 of the By Faith series. So in this By Faith series, I talk about my faith, my journey, where I am in my life, ways that I've been walking by faith, different things like that. And today I'm talking about career breakthrough. So when I first started my YouTube channel, I was a real estate agent and I made videos about becoming a real estate agent, about being a full-time entrepreneur and all of those things. And today's video is about how I am no longer a real estate agent. So I'll be talking about what I'm doing now, why I left real estate, what that journey was like, because for the people that have been subscribed to my channel since the beginning, first of all, thank you. But I know there are people that watch my videos because they're interested in entrepreneurship and those kinds of things. I wanted to make an update video letting you all know that my career has shifted a little bit, and I'm excited to tell you all about what I'm doing now. So just a little background about me. I've always been somebody that loved creativity and freedom. When I was a little girl, I wanted to do everything, and I do mean everything. So I wanted to be a writer, I wanted to publish books, I wanted to write movie scripts, I wanted to be a teacher, I wanted to be a real estate agent, I wanted to be a business owner, I wanted to have a restaurant. So I love music and I love writing. I started writing poetry when I was in 3rd grade. So I used to watch Moesha and I thought the den was so cool. So I wanted to have my own restaurant and have like spoken word, open mic nights, neo soul music, because I love music and I love writing. So even as a little kid, like I would write out menu items and I would be like, okay, Monday's gonna be this night, Tuesday's karaoke night, Wednesday's open mic night. So I'm just a dreamer. I used to want to be a fashion designer and have my own clothing boutique. I would sketch out designs, and I was committed to that for a long time. Maybe like from maybe 5th grade until like 9th or 10th grade. For a long time, I really thought I was gonna be a fashion designer. Like that is what my heart was set on for the longest. But I've never been the type of person that wanted to sit in an office all day. I love roles where I'm able to be creative, I'm able to move around, I'm able to be myself, and that's what initially drew me to real estate. So my dad works in the housing industry, my aunt was a real estate agent. So growing up, I really looked up to them and I thought that was interesting. I thought that it was something that I would really enjoy doing. So I got my real estate license in 2019 and I absolutely loved real estate. I was really passionate I still am so passionate about financial literacy, teaching people how to save. I would do home buying seminars where I taught about budgeting and how to build your credit and how to save your money and just different things like that. I would teach 2 home buying seminars a year, and I think that might have been one of my favorite parts of being a real estate agent, aside from just that warm feeling that you get when you're helping somebody make such a huge purchase and you're advocating for them, and it's a euphoric feeling when you sell a house, no lie. But the downside of real estate is that it can be extremely stressful. So I noticed back in 2022 that my peace was starting to shift, and I was starting to feel burnt out. I was starting to feel overwhelmed, and something that I really, really enjoyed was starting to become a real challenge for me. I did really well with real estate financially. So in 2021, I left my full-time job and I made more in real estate that year than my salary. So I did really well financially in 2021. 2022 was a different story because I learned that real estate can be so up and down. When you're in real estate, you're always looking for your next deal. Even if you have something lined up and you know when the closing will be, you still need to be actively searching for your next deal so that when you're done with that closing, you're continuing to work. And if you don't do that, or you can do everything right and things still don't work out. So I remember I've shared this on my channel before. I had multiple deals underway. I had some things under contract. I was working with clients. Every single thing that I was working on fell apart. That was in the summer of 2022. That was such an overwhelming day. There were so many people calling my phone. There were so many issues that I had to handle, and I ended up having a panic attack. And I think that moment changed me forever when it came to real estate. And every single summer after that, so summer 2023, summer 2024, summer 2025, after that, I started to get so burnt out with real estate every single summer around the same time. So it really just did something to me, and my passion for real estate wasn't the same after that incident happened. And I know things happen that are beyond your control. You have to just dust your stuff off, try again. But something shifted in me, and it's like I couldn't bounce back from it. 2023, amazing year. It was my best year financially. I've been able to help so many people purchase homes, and that is the most rewarding feeling. I've been able to help my closest friends purchase homes, family members. I helped my parents purchase their forever home, people that I saw grow up, people that saw me grow up. Like, I've been able to help so many people purchase homes. And I also was able to see God move in those individual situations. Every single Monday, I would fast and pray for my clients. While I was full-time real estate, every single Monday, I was fasting and praying for my clients. And I would just see God's hand in amazing ways, and it built my faith so much. Naturally, I'm a pretty introverted person, but with real estate, you have to network so much, and sometimes that can be really draining for me. So I felt like I was constantly stepping outside of my comfort zone, which it is good to stretch yourself and to step outside of your comfort zone, but it just felt really draining for me. I felt like I had to be so, I don't even want to use the word assertive. I want to use the word aggressive. I wasn't an aggressive real estate agent, but at the same time, you have to always be searching for deals. You have to constantly be following up with people. So I was doing that, not in a way that I was pushing clients away. I did that in a way that fit with my personality, but you do have to always be looking for business. And when you're fully commission based, there's no guaranteed check. And so that was a lot of pressure on me as well. There are so many things that happen that you cannot control. Like, you can have a house that's supposed to close next week or even tomorrow, and something can fall through that has nothing to do with you, nothing to do with your work ethic or anything that you did, maybe not even to do with your actual client. And so you were depending on that check, and then that check doesn't come. I was moving from brokerage to brokerage, and I got to a place in 2023 where I just didn't want to do that anymore. And I had like this feeling in my spirit that I just wanted to feel settled. Like, I wanted to be settled. I didn't want to keep moving from job to job, brokerage to brokerage, place to place. I wanted to get somewhere and stay there. Like, it was just this longing that I had. Like, I wanted to be settled, and not just in my career, but in my entire life. So even in my love life. And 2023 is actually when I started dating my husband. So all of these things were happening in my life, and I knew that I just wanted consistency. So my background is in education. And in 2023, I started thinking about education again. I always loved teaching, even as a real estate agent. When I was doing those home buying seminars, I really, really enjoyed it. And I feel so fulfilled when I'm teaching people. I feel like that's one of my gifts, that one of my God-given gifts is to teach people and to share my knowledge, to be able to explain things in a way that other people can easily understand. I love teaching. I was interested in teaching, but this time teaching college students. So I applied for an instructor role at the university that I graduated from in the business college. And I got an interview. They really liked me. I was going far, and I really feel confident that they were planning to hire me. But then we started talking about the salary. And at that point, mind you, there were months where I was making $20,000 a month. And so it was really challenging for me to even think about going from that to the salary that they were talking about. And it wasn't even a bad salary. I wasn't really rocking with it. So I had to be honest with them and let them know I don't think that would be enough for me to live off of at that point in my life. And that was true because I had so many expenses. Real estate was so up and down for me. Just to be completely transparent and honest, I had gotten myself into debt just trying to support myself in 2022 when all of those deals fell through. And thankfully, God has blessed me to be able to pay off all of that debt now. We do not have any consumer debt, and I'm so grateful for that. And I'll get into this later, but spoiler alert, the job that I have now is the same job that I applied for back in 2023, except the salary almost doubled. And that should just show you about God's timing and God's favor. Before we get there, let me rewind. So in 2024, a year passed by, right, since I had this interview, and I was still in real estate, but I knew that my time in real estate was over. I had no passion for what I was doing or the company that I was with, because at this point, I was in new construction. Once again, summer had rolled around, and I was feeling really burnt out. Real estate was affecting my health, y'all. Like, I would get so stressed out. My skin would break out really, really bad. I would just feel really, really tired. I wasn't feeling like myself. Like, it was incredibly stressful. And I don't want to go into all of the details about how stressful it had gotten for me, but I just could not take it anymore. So I reached out to the hiring manager for that teaching role that I applied for in 2023. And he let me know that he was no longer in that position, but he forwarded my email to someone that was in that position that remembered me from the interview process. And for this video, we'll just call her P. So P reached out to me, and she was so excited to hear from me. She was like, I remember you. We really love you. And I had asked, I can't remember if I said this already, but I asked about adjunct positions. Like, were there any adjunct positions available? And my mindset was, okay, I'm really interested in going back into education. I want to teach college students. I would love to teach them full time. Let me see if I can just get my foot in the door. I'm asking about adjunct positions. She said, yes, we have adjunct positions. At the same time, because before I went into real estate full time, I was in higher education. I wanted to go back to higher education. I applied for a job as an academic advisor in the business college, so the same department. I let P know that, and P was like, perfect timing. I'm actually meeting with the hiring manager for that role tomorrow. I'll give her your name. So August 2024, I started working as an adjunct instructor, and I was hired as an academic advisor. And I started the academic advising in September. Before the semester started, I was sitting down with P. We were having a conversation. She was like, you're in a great position. Being an academic advisor is a great place to start. You're an adjunct instructor, and you never know what instructor roles might come available in the year from now. She said from what she has seen, the departments are usually more likely to hire someone that's already an adjunct instructor. And so that was really encouraging to hear. And guess what, y'all? Y'all not gonna believe this. Guess what? January 2025 rolls around, and guess what job comes available? Spoiler alert. The job that I have now, which is the same exact job that I applied for in 2023, except when I asked P about the salary was almost double what it was in 2023. Oh my goodness. Y'all, talk about an answered prayer, because in 2024, I was praying that in a year from then, I would be a full-time instructor. and that's where I am now. So my husband and I had a very small wedding because we were saving up for a home. So we got married in March 2025. We purchased our new home in July of 2025. I was our real estate agent, which means that I got paid to represent us, and that went towards our down payment, which was just another blessing in itself. So around the time, I was thinking about what I was going to do with my real estate license. So I had helped my friends, I had helped my family members. One of my dreams was to be able to represent me and my husband in a deal. I was praying about what to do with my real estate license. I wasn't planning on selling any more houses, but I decided to pray about it. And when I was praying about it, I just had this feeling that I was going to sell one more house this year. And I was like, well, whose house is that going to be? And I was thinking about somebody that had told me that they were interested in selling or purchasing a home. And so I thought maybe it would be that person. When I first got my real estate license, the first house I ever sold was on my birthday. Keep that in mind. With the other home that we owned, before I ever met my husband, I purchased that home in 2019. And I used to say that I would never ever sell that home. Like I would just rent it out, that kind of thing. And then like the last couple years, the idea of selling it started to become more desirable to me. Okay, and then especially when you see like how much equity you've built in it and how you can use that as an investment. So we started praying over the summer about whether to rent or sell the home, and we just felt peace about selling the home. And initially that was not the plan. We were planning to rent it out. I didn't feel comfortable with the conversations that I was having with property managers. Something just didn't feel right about the process. I knew deep down that it wasn't the right choice to rent the home out, and that I knew deep down that we were supposed to sell the house. So I represented us. I put the house on the market. When I first got my real estate license, the first house I ever sold was on my birthday. And that month I had prayed and asked God, I've been working really hard, I've been trying to sell a house. Lord, please bless me to sell a house on my birthday, and that'll be like your birthday gift to me. That's what I asked for. That's exactly what happened. And the first time I ever sold a house, I actually went to go show my friend this house. She really liked it, put in an offer. Someone else got the offer. Then they backed out. They were not able to move forward with the house. The real estate agent called me, asked me if my client still wanted to purchase the home. She did. I sold my first house on my birthday. So this time around, I was like, okay, it would be so cool if I sold my last house on my birthday. Like that would be pretty cool. So I prayed about it and I asked God, I was like, Lord, can you please bless us to sell this house on my birthday? And that will also be confirmation that it's time for me to leave real estate. So, are we surprised at this point? Are we surprised? Like, God's favor, we sold that house on my birthday. So that was in July. October rolls around, and at this point I'm thinking, okay, at the end of the year I'm going to inactivate my real estate license. October rolls around, the broker that I was with called me and said, hey, just wanted to let you know that I'm closing down the company at the end of this month, and so you have 3 weeks to find another brokerage. And I was like, oh my goodness. What? I knew that I would be transitioning out of real estate, but I didn't know that it would be that fast. But when it's time for you to go, it is time for you to go. And she wasn't rude or anything about that. She was super nice, but I was like, oh my goodness, like it's time for me to go. It's already been confirmed that that was my last house that I was going to sell. I went ahead, I prayed about it, I inactivated my real estate license, and I am no longer a real estate agent. So, and that feels really weird because real estate had become part of my identity. It was something that I was really involved in for so long. It was something that people knew me by. Like when people thought of me, they thought about real estate. If they knew someone that was purchasing a home, like my friends were so good about just referring me to people. People still call me to this day. Someone called me asking me to join her new real estate company. She was like, I remember when you first started out, you were really on top of it and your name was just everywhere. I'm like, what? So one thing that I am thinking about though is just continuing to keep renewing my license. So it's kind of like a driver's license. So even if you decide not to drive, like, you still have to continue to renew your driver's license if you want to drive ever again in the future. So what I'm planning to do is to continue renewing my license. Even though I'm not practicing real estate, I'm not signed with the brokerage, I can't do anything real estate related. I can't show a house, I can't look at the MLS, I can't do anything that a realtor would be able to do. So I'm not practicing real estate, but I believe that in the future, maybe in a few years from now, when my husband and I are ready to purchase another home or sell this home, then I probably will reactivate my license and represent us again, because that would still be cheaper than paying a real estate agent. So right now, I feel like I have the perfect balance. I love my job. I love teaching. I love the students. I absolutely love my schedule. I'm only on campus Monday through Thursday, unless we have a meeting on Fridays, which last semester we only had 2 meetings on campus on Fridays. So I really like the flexibility. I don't have to be on campus from 8 to 5. I'm just there when I teach. I'm there for my office hours. If I want to stay there longer, I can. But yeah, so I really like it when the students are not there. I don't have to be there. So basically from December 5th until January 7th, I'm off work and it's still paid. And then like for the summer, I don't have to work over the summer. So I get May, June, and July off. We still get spring break, Thanksgiving break, a week for Thanksgiving break, a week for spring break. So I'm very, very grateful. Now, the workload is a lot, but I enjoy what I do, and I've learned how to balance my time, and I just really, really like what I do. What's most rewarding is when the students come up to me and say, like, oh, like, I really enjoyed your class, or, oh, I tried this thing that we talked about and I was able to do this, and just seeing them make the connections. I feel like I have the perfect balance. I'm not being micromanaged. Yay for that. If you're watching this and you're thinking about making a shift in your career, maybe you've been in the same career field for decades and you're thinking about doing something new, or maybe you don't like what you do anymore, or maybe you love what you do but you want to be doing it in a different capacity. Whatever it is, like, if you feel stuck, if you're really just feeling like this nudge to do something, I say pray about it and just go for it. Proverbs 16:3 says, commit your plans to him and he will establish your steps. So as long as you invite God into the process and you just ask him for wisdom and directions, like, he will blow your mind with favor. My story is just an example of that, and I know that he will do the same for you. You're not behind in life, you're not late in life, you are being aligned. So I know people say what they want to say about those of us like me who changed careers, but I'm happy. Like, I'm doing what I enjoy, and when I was in real estate, I was doing what I enjoyed. And so I just see it as like me reaching a new level of myself. I'm able to help people in a different capacity, and I'm able to see God's hand in my life regardless. So people are going to have something to say no matter what you do. If you stay at the same job for 30 years, they're going to talk about you. If you change jobs every 3 years, they're going to talk about you. So don't worry about what people are saying. Follow God's direction, follow your heart, and do what's best for you, because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to live with your decisions. When I was getting ready to go into real estate full time, my dad told me, you can't worry about what other people are going to think. You can't even worry about my opinions and what I'm going to think, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to have to live with your decisions. So I'm saying the same thing to you. At the end of the day, you are the one that has to live with your decisions, not the person over here at the family reunion that always has an opinion about something, not the hater over here that you went to school with that they don't think that you can do XYZ. It's not even their business. Matter of fact, move in silence. Don't tell anybody. Just update your LinkedIn and mind your business. I hope that this video encourages you. Please comment below what you're believing God for in your career or in your purpose. If you just feel like you have maybe a higher calling, maybe you have this nudge to do something, maybe you've been thinking about something for a while, thinking about changing careers or getting a new job or a promotion, or maybe even going back to school. Whatever it is, I want to know so that I can be praying for you If this video resonates with you, please give this video a thumbs up. And I can't wait to see y'all next time. I hope you have an amazing day today, whatever day it is that you're watching this. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.